Here we're going to deal with Ross 39.11, section C. This is the lengthy reading section from 1 Samuel 3, 1 through 10. Now, the bad news is that it's long compared to all the other reading sections you may have done. The good news is that there is a fair amount of repetition here. So, once you've parsed some words, you're going to see them several times. So let's read the text here, and then we'll look at the grammar. So you can repeat after me. Oh, by the way, this is the call narrative of Samuel. So we see here that during the time of the judges, Eli's the high priest, and Samuel is going to be called to be a prophet of God. Samuel is the son of Hannah. Hannah, if you might remember from the early chapters of 1 Samuel, Hannah was barren, and God, in answer to her prayer, gave her a son, and she had promised that if God would give her the son, that she would dedicate him to the service of Yahweh. So let's read the text here. V'hana'ar Shmuel musharet et Adonai lifnei Eli u'davar Adonai haya yakar bayamim hahem ein chazon nifratz. All right. So you know ha-na'ar is the boy or the lad. So this vav is attached to a non-verb. Frequently, we and Ross might refer to this as a disjunctive vav. And this disjunctive vav is basically used to segment the text and to create a break. We have a new scene here. We're shifting from Hannah's life now to Samuel's as a young boy who is now serving with Eli at the tabernacle. So you might translate this as now, as a way of creating a new scene. Now, the boy Samuel is in apposition to the boy. Remember, when we have a noun in apposition to another noun, the anchor noun is being reframed or recharacterized with additional information. Here, the na'ar is being specified as Samuel himself. Okay, so the boy, namely Samuel, musharet. This is a verb. Those are the three root letters, and I have a prefix mem. This tells me that I'm dealing with a participle with no ending, so that's masculine singular. Which participle has a vocal shava under the mems? PL and pual. Which one have an A-class vowel under root 1? The PL does. Why do I not have the pathak and the doubling dot that I expect in a PL participle? The answer is that resh is part of the guts gang, dagesh forte is lost, and the short pathak has compensatorily lengthened to a long kametz here. That's the deal. All right? So that's why this is the way it is. This means to serve, and this is a predicate use of the participle, and so I need to supply the copula. The copula is null here. So now the boy Samuel was serving. Et Adonai, direct object, was serving Yahweh. Lifnei Eli, in the presence of or before Eli, the high priest. U'davar Adonai, here I have another vav joined to a non-verb. So I have another disjunctive vav here. And this is giving me some parenthetical or background information that's necessary to process the discourse that I'm about to read. Now, the word of the Lord, haya yakar, was rare. By the way, this is a construct chain. Notice davar with the two long A's has reduced its vowel pointing. That tells me this is a construct chain. The word of the Lord. It's the subject of the verb haya. That's a cal perfect 3ms. Was yakar, rare. Bayamim, in the days, hahem, those. I have my far demonstrative here, and it's plural, so it means those. I've got the article attached. That tells me that this is a an adjective use, and it follows the noun. It agrees in gender and number, masculine plural, yamim is masculine plural, definiteness, ha, and I don't quite see the article hey, but the hays, pathak, and doubling dot are visible. So these are definite and same gender and number. So it is an attributive use of the demonstrative adjective. In the days, the those is in those days. So it was rare. The word of the Lord was rare in those days. That is to say that there wasn't a whole lot of prophetic utterance going on at the time. Ein chazon nefratz. Ein chazon. Ein means there was not, and chazon is vision, meaning prophetic vision. Nefratz. This is a bit of a difficulty here. Now this is from the verb parat, so I see my 3 root letters. The noon prefix tells me that this could be a nifal, and the long A under root 2 tells me that it's not the nifal perfect, but the nifal participle. The nifal participle has a long A that is irreducibly long, never reduces to vocal shiva. No ending means that the participle is masculine singular. And so what I need to know is that parat in the nifal probably has a sense of something like to break out. The cow means to break out. The nifal it's suggested in the lexicons that it means to spread out. Okay? To spread out. So it would be something like vision, there was not. There was no vision, prophetic vision, breaking out. Or we could maybe put it as a copular clause. Vision was not breaking out or spreading abroad. That's the idea here. All right, let's look at verse 2. And again, we'll read this. Vayhi bayom hahu. V'eli shohev bimkomo. V'enav heichelu kehot lo yuchal lirot. All right. Now, here we have a vayhi. Remember, that is a WCI form. Okay? It's a Cal WCI 3MS from haya. There's the hey, there's the yod. There is no 3 because haya, being a 3-hey verb, in WCIs and justives undergo apocompation. They lose the segel hey. All right. So the question here is there a subject of haya here? And the answer is no. This vayhi is not really functioning as a copular verb that something was something. It's rather functioning as what I like to call a discourse marker. The WCI tells you it's past time, and it's setting the context for what comes after. So what you need to see is when you see vayhi, you notice WCI, you go, past time. Now I'm going to just translate the prepositional phrase with past time semantics, if that's possible. So sometimes I might have a infinitive construct as part of a prepositional phrase. And in that case, I could use a past tense verb. Here I just have a temporal prepositional phrase. In the day, the that. So past time, in that day, back then, what was going on? Here I have a vav with a non-verb, v'eli. So this is another disjunctive vav, and this is giving me circumstantial information. So on that day, or in that day, and then before he gets into what happened in that day, he's going to give me some circumstantial information. Now, Eli shochev bimkomo. Eli, copula, needs to be inserted here, was lying down. Shakav, that is a cal participle, masculine and singular. So I see all 3 root letters here. Shachav. Holam, Sere, Pokad, Shochev, right? So, Eli was lying down. Where? Bim komo. This is makom, normally spelled this way when all the vowels are spelled fully. Defectively spelled holam bav here. And the accent is way on the end, so this is open and proprotonic, and it reduces the komets to a vocal shava. The vocal shava would have had a vocal shava from bet in front of it, and we shut out one of the I's due to the Red Rider issue. So b-m-kamo became bim-kamo. And the holum vav here is 3ms pronominal suffix, in the place of him. So he was lying down in his place. Another circumstantial clause is found here. V'einav, and his eyes, he chelu. What do we have here? Well, this looks like it could be a prefix he. And then I have roots 1, 2, and 3 if that lamed represents a doubled, that dagesh fortune represents a doubled lamed of a geminate verb. Do we have a geminate verb halal? And the answer is yes, we do. In the hifil, if that's a hifil he, then this means to begin. All right? Now, here I have an I-class vowel. That sere is I-class. So this is looking like a hifil perfect, and then with the shurik on the backside, it's going to be 3CP. Why would it be third common plural? Because his eyes appears to be the subject. His eyes began, and then kehot. Ross tells you here that this means a weak or faint. What am I missing here? I'm missing a verb, something like to be. His eyes began to be faint or dim. Lo yukal lirot. Not, he was able. Here I have the verb yakol. So yod kaf lamed. If you remember, yod is an originally one vav verb, and in the kal imperfect, I get a shurik here. I only see roots 2 and 3. Root 1 is missing, but I have a historically long vowel with a vav as part of the historically long vowel. It's the mater, and then this yod is the 3ms prefix. So this is kal imperfect 3ms. He was able. Now notice, this is an imperfect. We have often translated imperfects as future. But since this is a narrative and the context is past, remember the imperfect could also refer to past time action that is habitual or ongoing or progressive. So we're going to translate this as he was not able. He was not able to what? I have a complementary infinitive here with a lamed preposition, and then my root letters 1, 2, and the ot ending is the infinitive construct ending for, you guessed it, 3 he verbs. Ra'ah. Shava under root 1, that's a kal infinitive construct, plus preposition lamed. Okay? So complementary infinitive telling you what he was able or not able to do. He was not able to ra'ah, to see. Verse 3. And let's read this. V'ner Elohim terem yikbe u Shmuel shochev b'heikal Adonai asher sham Aharon Elohim. Now, the word ner is one that you don't know. Or Ross tells you that it refers to the lamp or the light. And this is a construct chain. So this is thing 1 in a thing 1, thing 2 construct chain. The lamp of God. Notice there's a disjunctive vav right here. Okay, so this is still giving us circumstantial information. And the light of God, terem, he tells you that terem is before. But another way to translate terem is not yet. And that's going to be the best way here, not yet. And the lamp of God, not yet, yichbe. This is from the verb kava. Yich, prefix yod, that's looking like an imperfect, 3ms. It's a 3-hay verb, so the uninflected forms of 3-hay verbs in the imperfect are segel hay. And this looks like the normal old Keurig of the cow imperfect. So the lamp of God not yet was going out. Ushmael and Samuel shochev. Again, my copula is missing here. Got to supply it. And the cow participle. And Samuel was lying down. This is giving me another circumstantial clause. Really here, it seems like this is parenthetical, sort of circumstantial information. Here, this is temporal circumstantial information. While Samuel was lying down. Really, a lot of this is probably temporal circumstantial. Let me see. Here it is. V'Eli shokev, probably while Eli was lying down in his place, and this is parenthetical. Now his eyes had begun to grow weak. He was not able to see. Back to circumstantial, and the lamp of God was not yet going out while Samuel was lying down. Behekal Adonai, in the temple of the Lord, Asher Sham Aharon Elohim. This is a construct chain, the ark of God there. So the temple of the Lord, which the ark of God there. I'm missing a copula. Okay. The Asher relative clause is modifying what? It's not modifying Yahweh. It's actually modifying the Hekal, the temple. It's technically not a temple as a permanent structure, but a temple in the form of a portable structure. That is to say, the tabernacle. So Samuel was lying down in the temple or tabernacle of Adonai, and this tabernacle is described as the tabernacle which there was the ark of God. That is to say, we want to translate this in English as in the tabernacle or temple where the ark of God was. This sham is a resumptive adverb. What is it resuming? It's resuming the head of the relative clause. Remember, in relative clauses, the head always has a role outside the relative clause in the main clause, and there is some way in which it has a role inside the relative clause. Here, it has the role as sham, as where.